Forget-me-nots are low-growing, herbaceous biennials that are members of the borage family. This short-lived perennial is hardy in USDA zones 3 to 8 and is valued for its dainty flowers in shades of vivid blue, pink, and white. It grows at a fast rate and reaches 6 to 12 inches tall by 10 to 12 inches wide at maturity. It is a biennial plant, which means the seeds grow in the first year and blooms the following year. Forget-me-not self-seeds so you'll continue to enjoy them in your garden year after year. Forget-me-nots are best planted in large masses for maximum impact, providing the landscape with a carpet of flowers. It can be planted as a ground cover, or in front of flower beds and borders. Forget-me-not combines well with spring blooming bulbs, such as tulips and daffodils, as well as bleeding hearts. Forget-me-not plants can be purchased from a nursery, or they can be sown directly from seed. The advantage of buying the plants is that you get to enjoy the blooms within the same year it's planted. If planting from seeds, sow them directly on the ground close to the last frost date in spring, if you live in colder regions. Sow the seeds in the fall for spring blooms, if you live in warmer regions. Seeds can be sown indoors 8 to 10 weeks before the last frost date. Forget-me-nots are best grown on fertile, consistently moist, well-draining soil, and shouldn't be allowed to dry out. Plant them in an area that gets full morning sun, and partial shade from the hot afternoon sun. Water frequently to keep the soil evenly moist in the summer. Having plenty of water is crucial to keeping forget-me-nots alive and thriving. You won't need to water as much when the plants are dormant in the winter. Avoid getting the leaves wet to prevent the spread of diseases. Feed the plants once a year, with a slow-release granular fertilizer in early spring. Add a layer of rich, organic mulch in spring for extra protection. Always deadhead the spent flowers, if you want the plants to continue blooming through the summer. But if you want forget-me-nots to persist in your garden for many years, then leave the flowers on the plant and let them go to seed. Pruning is not necessary. Just let the plants die back in winter and clean up the debris in early spring. Forget-me-nots are deer and rabbit resistant. But aphids, slugs and snails are attracted to this plant. Aphids can be sprayed off with water, or controlled by applying neem oil on the foliage. For slugs and snails, they can be picked off by hand, or you can use organic bait. Powdery mildew and rust are common diseases, but they can be prevented by avoiding overhead watering. Forget-me-nots are a nice addition to a mixed border garden, and having a carpet of flowers will lure in a lot of bees and butterflies in your garden. Thank you for watching.